All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're breaking down the roadmap for law firms that are ready to stop trading hours for dollars and start building something truly scalable. We're talking about how to turn your services into high-value package solutions.
Okay, so here's the game plan for our explainer. First, we're going to tackle a huge problem most firms have. Then, we'll walk through the entire three-phase journey, that setup, build, and drive that takes you from just getting by to really being in control.
So, let's start with a challenge that I'm willing to bet feels pretty familiar. It's what we call the black box problem, and honestly, it's the main reason why so many law firms find it so hard to grow.
Just ask yourself this, honestly. When a client signs on with you, do they have any real idea what the journey is going to look like? Or is it more like they put money into this mystery box and then just kind of hope a good result pops out the other side, with zero clue about the value you're creating every step of the way? And look, these frustrations, these are the direct results of that black box way of doing things. It's why client work feels so sporadic, why you never have time for marketing, and why there's that constant nagging worry about profitability. It's a cycle that keeps amazing firms stuck.
So how do we break that cycle? Well, we need a plan. The whole idea is to go from that confusing black box to a crystal clear glass box, a process that's predictable and transparent, not just for your clients, but for you and your team too. And this right here, this is the path forward. This isn't just some vague concept. It's a real, structured 9-stage journey. You can see it's laid out in 3 distinct phases. First, setup, which is all about your foundation. Then build, where you actually create your solution. And finally, drive, where you hit the gas and scale it.
So the big shift here is moving away from selling your time and custom-built services to selling a defined outcome. A signature solution is basically your expertise but productized. It's something clients can actually see, understand, and feel confident buying, which, you guessed it, creates predictable revenue for you.
All right, let's dig into that first phase, setup. This is where we lay the entire foundation for everything that follows. I'm telling you, the strategic work you do before you start building anything is absolutely crucial. You got to get this right. Okay, this phase is all about deep thinking and smart strategy. First, in the as-is step, you get brutally honest about where your firm is right now. Then, you find your home zone. That's your perfect, most profitable niche. And only then do you build the roadmap, which is the actual business plan for your new solution.
So how in the world do you find that perfect home zone? Well, you have to ask the right questions. This is a great way to think about it. It's not just about what you're good at. The sweet spot is where your passion, a real market problem, true profit potential, and your ability to build a presence all overlap.
Okay, with that solid foundation in place, now we get to the fun part, the build phase. This is where that strategic plan you just made stops being a document and starts becoming a real, tangible thing that you can actually sell. The build phase really comes down to 3 things. First, you create your offers. That means packaging your expertise into clear products. Second, you build out your main marketing channels, your website, your blog, your social presence to get the word out. And third, and people always forget this one, you have to build the right team culture to actually deliver on your promises every single time. Now, a really critical part of creating killer offers is developing what we call lead magnets. Seriously, think of these as the friendly front door to your firm. It's a totally free, high-value taste of your expertise that gets potential clients to raise their hand and say, "Hey, I'm interested." And check this out, because not all lead magnets are created equal, not by a long shot. The best ones give a ton of value, but are super easy for a busy person to consume. A webinar or a simple cheat sheet? Easy yes. A dense, 50-page white paper? That's a much harder ask, and you'll see way lower conversions. All right, the strategy is set, the product is built, now it's time to hit the gas. Welcome to the final phase, drive. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's all about execution, marketing, and real sustainable growth. The drive phase is all about action on 3 fronts. Operations is about making sure you can deliver your solution perfectly even as you grow. Marketing is about getting that solution in front of the right people and convincing them to buy. And audience building is the nonstop job of growing your community of potential clients.
I have to pause here because this is so important. This whole transformation, it's not some task you can delegate to a junior marketer. It has to be owned and driven from the very top of the firm. If leadership isn't 100% bought in, even the most perfect roadmap is just going to sit on a shelf and collect dust.
So, after all this work, what's the end game?
What does life actually look like on the other side of this journey? Let's talk about the incredible payoff that's possible when you get this right.
I mean, just look at the difference here. This really says it all. You leave behind the stress of sporadic work and confusing hourly rates, and you move to a world with a steady stream of your ideal clients. You swap out slow, passive referrals for a real marketing engine that creates predictable, scalable growth. It's a total game changer.
And this is really the whole point. The philosophy here is you drive, we nav. This roadmap puts your firm in the driver's seat. You are in control of your destination, and you have a clear, reliable system to get you there faster and more profitably.
And let's wrap this up with probably the most important point of all. This isn't just some interesting theory to think about. It is an implementation manual. You know, a map is pretty useless if the car just stays parked in the driveway. The real value, the real transformation, only happens when you take action.
So to wrap up our explainer, I'm just going to leave you with this one question. Forget about the entire 9-step journey for a second. What is the very first, maybe even the smallest, milestone you can set for your firm to start down this path? Because that first step, that's where it all begins.